Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. Saturday is off to a great start here in the Midland and mid-Michigan area. Sun is shining. The hurricane that was farther to the south of us, wreaking all of that havoc on Florida and Georgia and Tennessee especially. Holy cow. Never quite spun its way up this far, so we're thankful for that. And thoughts go out to everybody who is really messed up. We're no stranger to floods here in Midland, but not in that scope. Holy cow, did they get nailed with it. But it's looking nice here. Spent the morning over a real quick trip over to Farmer's Market with Kim. Got myself an Amish apple pie, a little hand pie. Those are always good for my lunch today, but looks like it's going to be a decent day. It's a little cool, but I am ready for it. I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for the coolness to hit us because fall is here. My yard's starting to fill up with some leaves. It just feels good. I like this time of year. Lots of other fun stuff happening. Speaking of fun stuff, let's say some hellos this morning. I'm assuming I'm coming through loud and clear. Hopefully our technical difficulties are a thing of the past. Jennifer saying good morning. Good morning to you as well. And Gary saying good morning to you guys. Betty from Toledo saying hi as well. Chuck, good morning to you. Paul checking in and saying hello and happy Saturday to you as well. Fred on the west side of the state. Good morning from Grand Rapids. Let's see here. Oh, I see somebody outside. It's already time to start. I better get moving here. Chemic win last night. Good. And homecoming. That's right. That was all going on. Thanks for reminding. Dan, good morning to you as well. Bacon General, good morning. Salute you as well, sir. Top of the morning to Pat. And thanks for being here. Bacon. I need some bacon. There we go. Kristen, hey, good morning to you. Good to see you again. So a lot to get to today. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. We have got a lot of stuff to get to. So let me just dive right into that. First and foremost, let me get out the fact that the Record Store Day Black Friday list, I believe, is imminent in my humble opinion. We've double checked. It's usually this time of year, last week or so of September, early October. Didn't drop this week. So my guess is by midweek next week, we should see it. So as soon as we see that list, we will put a post up on our social media pages and link to the list and start dissecting it, as all of you will do as well. We'll have an in-depth discussion on that, the very podcast after with Steve, not this Sunday, but the weekend after. If the list drops, like I think it will on midweek next week, we'll talk about that in the following podcast. So make sure you're subscribed for that, and you'll get our thoughts on that list as soon as that it's out. More importantly, though, coming up next week is the Rocktober releases. I think we talked about this in the podcast too, making it a little bit of a mini Record Store Day feel with the release of their list on the Rocktober stuff. So coming up a little later today on the new release show, I will cover the first batch of Rocktober releases, which are due next week, next Friday. So make sure you check that out. And for crying out loud, people, if you want something off of that Rocktober list, please hit us up with a pre-order because that stuff's going to go quick. If you want to see the full list beforehand, and I don't get a chance to cover all that, you can head over to let me get rid of that there. Head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com. From there, very simply, just scroll down a little bit. You'll see the upcoming releases link. And once you get there, you can click on that and you'll be taken to a PDF that shows all of, show all of the releases for this upcoming week, but the Rocktober stuff is actually the stuff that is highlighted there. So as you can see, there's a Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, some Fleetwood Mac, In Excess, a lot of them. So you can scroll through the entire PDF list of the releases for next Friday, and you'll see the Rocktober stuff highlighted in there. Now, this is just the first round. There are more Rocktober titles coming later in the month. I think they're skipping a week, and then there's a few, to wrap up the last week of October. And I'll cover all of those as we get a little bit closer to this as well. But in the meantime, when we're done with today's stuff, make sure you head over to our website and click on the upcoming releases, and you can check out all of the Rocktober releases. And again, please make sure that if there's something on there you want to pre-order, because they go quick. And when they're gone, they're pretty much gone. It's tough to get them because they're not super limited, but they're also high demand. So they're going to go fairly quickly. So make sure you let us know if there is something in there that you would like us to get a hold of. Okay. That's out of the way. October, the Black Friday list. Yeah, I'm expecting that soon. Otherwise, there's another big thing that we popped up here, and this is coming up on Sunday, October 6th, which, holy cow, that's just hang on here. that is, a week from tomorrow, Sunday, is a Jelly Roll listening party. Yeah, October's here. What this is kind of a cool thing, and we've taken part in these once before, I believe, a couple times, and these happen a lot with indie record stores, is that we're going to have an advanced copy of this album, the new one, Beautifully Broken from Jelly Roll, which is due, I believe, a week or so, I think it's like the 15th after that. And we're going to play that record in its entirety, the album in its entirety, here in the store, and invite you in to give it a listen, be the first to hear the whole thing, and you'll get some freebies to go along with that and a chance to enter in to win some stuff. So far, the freebies, I think they're telling us we're going to get some Jelly Roll posters and some air fresheners in. There's probably going to be some other goodies involved. And then there is a super limited edition Jelly Roll hat that we're going to have a drawing for. That's what I've been told we're getting. And when that's all here, we will know for certain that we got it. But yeah, mark your calendar on this one. If you want to make sure you're here, it'll be Sunday, October 6th, a week from tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. here at the store. So just show up, hang out, mill out. We'll probably put some light refreshments out and such, some water and the like. And you can listen to the new Jelly Roll album. Be the first to hear the whole album here at the store. This is kind of a cool deal too. I think looking at the overall map, we're only one of 5 stores in Michigan, and there's other stores around the country, but there's only 5 stores in Michigan that are hosting this type of event. So yeah, stop by and check that out. It's on our Facebook page, and we'll post about it on Twitter as well. So make sure you check that out. So, okay, that's all out of the way. Let me get to the new releases and do one more plug for the podcast. This coming up with Steve Carlson, our good friend, on Sunday evenings. You can find that here on our YouTube channel. Are you subscribed? And as well as on Spotify. So this coming Sunday, tomorrow, we're going to talk about prog rock albums. Steve is not a big prog rock fan. I am a little more so we'll talk about that. But also on the podcast, I'm going to talk a little bit more about an album that dropped yesterday, and that is the brand new Billy Strings. Let me get my thumbnail. And this album, Highway Prayers, is a great album. I'm sorry. I never thought that I would consider myself a bluegrass fan, having grown up on a farm, middle-class family, so to speak. But I did really grow up on a farm, and country music was not my thing. Bluegrass, but modern bluegrass, Billy Strings in particular, the likes of Sturgill Simpson as well, it's really starting to resonate with me. This album, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, is the best since Home came out from Billy Strings. That's saying a lot. So I will talk a little bit more in depth. We'll give a review of this on the podcast coming up on Sunday and show you the open copy that we've got here. Not even a store copy. That's my copy, dang it. But Billy Strings Home. Now, Highway Prayers. I have got one copy of this left for the weekend as of this morning's recording, our broadcast. So I'm getting more of these next week. If you want one and you miss out on this one, let us know. And I will have more in store next Wednesday or Thursday, probably Thursday. So we'll have those. But again, stay tuned to the podcast. I will cover this a lot more in depth than my feelings on that new Billy Strings. Speaking of that, I do have a copy of Home in store, as well as the Billy Strings Live Volume 1 from about a month or so ago. So we still have those in stock. Other new releases from yesterday include, speaking of Michigan, Billy Strings is from Michigan, by the way. The Black Dahlia Murder, they've kind of retooled it. They've got, they're bouncing back from their tragedy, and they do have a new member of the band, and they've released a new album. This is called, what is this called again? Servitude. I have to read that correctly. I'm not up on my metal font, quite frankly, yet. I'm getting there, though. Servitude is the brand new one from Black Dahlia Murder. I've got two different versions of this in store. One called a Rising Smoke, and the other is a Blue Smoke. So it's they look almost alike according to the pictures I saw. But the Rising Smoke is a Coke bottle clear smoke, and the Electromagnetic is a blue smoke with clear. I think that the Electromagnetic is the indie exclusive, so more limited version. Copies of each of these in the store if you're a fan of Black Dahlia and their heavier stuff out of Detroit. Speaking of Detroit, hey, another new release-ish yesterday was from Sponge, demoed in Detroit. These are demo recordings from the band Sponge, recorded in 1997 and 98, and then it's got a acoustic mixes. I listen to these online. I'm going to have to listen again because they're out there for me. Acoustic mix of Plowed and an acoustic mix of Molly, 16 Candles Down the Drain, a mad piano mix on that. Those are interesting when you're used to the other stuff from Sponge, but demoed in Detroit, got 2 copies of that. That is on red vinyl. And speaking of Sponge, I still do have a copy of Rotting Pinata and Lavatorium in stock here at the store, so get those if you are a Sponge fan. Other stuff from yesterday, there was a reissue of George Harrison's Cloud 9. I don't believe there's anything special on this other than it says it's remastered for vinyl from the original analog stereo master tapes. So we're remastering of that. And then I did get one more copy. Sorry, Bunk. One more copy of David Gilmour's Luck and Strange. Also a great new album from him. So lots of cool stuff. I would encourage you to back up and check out the drop video from yesterday. You can find that on our YouTube channel and on the Facebook page, but the YouTube channel primarily. So check that out. You can see all the other stuff that was dropped. I also want to mention, too, on the podcast the other day, last week, Steve and I were talking about collection sizes. And I mentioned a collection that I bought about 4 years ago for the store here that was around 7,000 or 8,000 records. And I'm getting to some of the backlog of that. Yeah, 4 years later, busy guy, but getting to that. So what you're going to see is a lot of jazz, and it's going to be a lot of catalog chunks of artists. And I did that yesterday with an Al Diamola and not so much jazz in this, but the Crusaders also. So look for some of that stuff. I've got some bigger catalog chunks from some jazz artists coming in the weeks and months to come as we get to them. But make sure you're checking that out as well. Okay, a couple more quick comments, and we're going to get ourselves going out of here. Mr. DK in GB, good morning to you, sir. Pat's welcoming us to the Bluegrass. You had that yesterday, too. Hopefully you enjoy that album as much as I did. Holy cow. Dan chiming in. Okay, folks, Billy Strings is called for until next week. We'll get some more copies. Dan, I'll get that one aside for you. Yep, Billy Strings is playing Pine Knob next week. 2 dates. Considering it, but I don't know if we can. I don't know. Pine Knob is fine. I like Pine Knob, but I'm maybe a little too old to sit in the grass nowadays, but we'll see. I do enjoy it, but Kim and I are talking about seeing Billy Strings at some point down the line, but maybe more in a theater setting like a Ryman or something like that would be kind of cool. And Gary's chiming in too. I'm going to get you one of those next week, Gary, so we'll talk from there. Okay. Thank you guys very much for checking all that out. I'm going to say we're done for the week this week. Big one, big busy week coming up next week. Please, if you have not yet, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Like, comment, share, do all that stuff. I think we're like at $18.99 on the subscribers. So, man, next one that subscribes gets to be lucky 1,900, and then we just need 100 more to hit 2,000. And, watch out, Rogan, we're on the way, man. Whoever else, I don't know what I'm saying there. But, yeah, please make sure you subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps out the channel, and it helps out the store if you get a chance. Much, much appreciated, as always. All right, busy one next week. Again, Rocktober kicks off with the releases. Get your pre-orders in. Expecting the Record Store Day Black Friday list to drop sometime midweek. We're going to let you know as soon as we see it, and we can start dissecting that as we get in through it. So other than that, you folks have a great Saturday, Sunday. Get out, enjoy yourselves. We've got some beautiful weather, hopefully, for the next couple of days. And if you get a chance, stop by the store. I'm at 716 George Street, just north of downtown Midland. Here from, now until about 6 p.m. this evening. Tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 noon until 4 p.m. Till next week, you folks have a good one, and I will talk to you as soon as we know more about all the other stuff we're talking about. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you next week from Radio Wasteland. As always, thanks again for being here.